At IMVU, we had a stack that primarily consists of Memcache in front of MySQL and Redis. Now, one of the solutions we had was Redis-based and not scaling terribly well. We set out to replace it with something that would be easier to configure, easier to extend, and if successful, easier to scale. We decided on using Scylla, the start of 2017, and found it very easy to install. We got it up and running in production in about a couple of months, from 0 to full scale, out there ready to go. And immediately saw results that actually weren't quite what we expected. There were some small problems with the disk usage and the latency that we identified as problems with our schema. We hadn't quite gotten it right the first time around. That's why we came to Scylla for help and their enterprise package. The first meeting was extremely productive. Within 30 minutes of talking to y'all, one of their engineers, we had correctly identified all of the problems that we need to fix. And even before we managed to sign the contract, we put those fixes in place and saw Scylla just beat the snot out of every other competing data source we had tried. For a prototype, Redis was just fine for the features that we wanted to give our users. But once we actually rolled it out to 100,000 concurrent users, the expenses started getting hard to justify. Scylla allowed us to maintain that same responsiveness for a scale 10, 100 times as large as what Redis could handle. We went from an installation of Redis that had a data set of about 350 gigabytes to a Scylla data set that quickly grew twice as large with increased usage, thanks to the simple fact that Scylla is optimized for keeping the data you need in memory and everything else in disk. Fortunately, Scylla was easy to deploy. Even a guy like me got the Skunkworks project up and running very easily. What issues I did have, I managed to get help with even before we signed the enterprise contract. By email, they were responsive within a day or two, and by Slack, they're responsive within minutes usually.